Are you currently pursuing your goals but finding it really hard to work out what your priorities are and how to actually manage the time to get things done? A weekly brain dump might be the thing just for you. Okay, so here's the story. I'm now 2 months in to being fully self-employed, and I can tell you that there is a lot of overwhelm, there is a lot of stress, there's a lot of anxiety. But one of the things that I do not ever stop doing is a weekly brain dump. I need to get everything out of my head that is causing that anxiety, causing that stress, causing that overwhelm, causing that sometimes fear and not actually doing anything, out of my head and onto paper. And today, this is where I share the power of my weekly brain dumps and how it helps me and what you need to do to get out of your head and get into action. Hi, I'm Chantel and welcome to my Brazen World, where I help women over the age of 40 believe, plan and live for the life that they truly desire. If you're new here, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and check the description box below where you will find workbooks that will help you wherever you are in your brazen journey. I've always got something for you. Check the description below. Great, so you're ready to reduce your overwhelm, anxiety and stress about the things that you actually need to get done. Not only that, you're also ready to up your productivity game to a whole new level. Well, what I do is use a weekly brain dump every Sunday where I put down everything that's in my mind, everything that I put on my notes, everything I put on reminders, anything I put in notebooks, put it all down in one place and actually set my brain free in order to work out what my priorities are and what will actually get me closer and closer to the goals that I want to achieve. So if you've never done a weekly brain dump before, let me tell you that this is one of the key things that helps me in my day-to-day living. I'm just recently become a properly full-time self-employed person, so I'm trying to run my own business. I also do consultancy. I've got a family, got a husband, and I've got a social life too. All of that needs to have some kind of order of priority in terms of making sure that I do not feel overwhelmed, because overwhelm is a real thing and stress and anxiety is not a good place to stay or be in. And actually taking it out of my head and writing it down on paper actually just frees up that mental capacity for me to really think about what it is that I do need to focus on today, or what I can push back for the later of the week, or even sometimes push back for the end of the month. Writing it all down and putting it in a weekly brain dump will really help you focus on what you can achieve and the time constraints that you actually have in order to achieve them. One of the key aspects of doing a brain dump is really actually making it a part of a routine of yours. So, for example, on a Sunday is where I normally do my brain dump first thing in the morning. So after I've done my normal morning routine, and if you want to hear about my morning routine, let me know in the comments below. So once I've got that first bit of my morning routine out of the way, my next thing is to actually sit down and do a brain dump. If you're like me, I like to use my phone, I like to use notebooks, I like to sometimes write things on a post-it. By the end of the week, I have got things kind of all over the place, just because at the time of when I thought about the idea, I like to capture everything, and sometimes I just capture it the easiest way that I can. So what I do on that Sunday morning is take my phone, take all the little notes and stuff, look at my notepad and actually just write down on a list, on a full piece of paper, all the things that I have captured and thoughts and ideas and things to do that I've captured over that week. Write them down on the Sunday on that piece of paper so they're all in one place, and I can just mentally think, oh, okay, there's something to start with. And make it easy on yourself. You can do your brain dump. Once you designate a day or a time of the week where you do it, make it look like a little ritual. You know, it's a kind of like, this is your time to actually just vomit all the ideas out and put everything in one place so that you kind of be a bit more balanced. So have your cup of tea or have your wine or have a little bit of music playing and just make it a kind of an enjoyable thing where you're thinking, actually, I am looking at my future self and putting my future self forward by making decisions about what is my priority today. And that is just how you start. Make it a kind of ritual, make it something enjoyable, make it something you kind of look forward to, that you can just put everything together now and you just got a bit more headspace to focus on really what it is that you need to do. And And it's called a brain dump for a reason. It's not about organising anything that you've written down at that time. All you're doing is just compiling everything that you've collected or every thought that you've had or things that you need to do in just one long list. I have actually got a video in terms of how I organise this list once I've done it, and I will put a link in the description below. But this is just getting out of your head. It's just to stop that stress of knowing that you've got so many things in so many areas and so many just thoughts and ideas and things that you are committed to doing, and just putting it all on paper so you can really actually just see it. We just need a visual representation of our life right now, because that actually stops you overthinking, feeling overwhelmed and being in fear of making any moves or taking any actions. Because I've always found if I keep things in my head, I'm stuck. I get stuck because there's too much information, there's too much things, there's too much disruption of thought. Taking it out of my head, putting it down on paper has been a real key in terms of me working towards the kind of steps I want to go, the things I want to achieve, and just in general, cleaning up the house and doing things that just you normally have to do but you put off because you're just feeling overwhelmed and stressed. Don't think about it has to be a perfect list or things are not in order or just they don't make sense. Just put it down on paper, because if it's not making sense in your head, put it down on paper so you can actually look at it from a different point of view. So once you've gathered everything in one place, take a look at your list. Now, there may be things that are time sensitive on your list that you actually have to do. You might be trying to avoid it, but the more you avoid it, the deadline is getting closer and closer to actually where you have to take action on that. Look at the list as a whole and just highlight, I'd say, 5 priorities that you have to get done over the next 7 days. With those 5 priorities, look at where across your week you can actually take action on those things. Doing it that way, instead of thinking, okay, I've got to put this whole list I've just created and try and squeeze everything into the next week, is just going to overwhelm you. The point of the brain dump is just to get everything out of your head so then you can just focus on what the priorities are in the next coming days. That is what I would normally do. I would look at my priorities, and then in my actual diary, I will then start to plot in the priorities that I am actually able to achieve. However, when you're plotting your priorities that you've identified, think about the rest of your life. At the end of the day, we still have to work, we still have to cook, we still have to clean, we still have to do all kinds of things on our day-to-day basis. Plot the priorities and the actions that you're going to do in line with where you find space in your week. And if your week is looking time sensitive, or if your week is looking so like there's just not enough space to do anything, pick one thing. Pick the most important thing you have to get done next week and put it on the agenda to do it. We are just trying our best all the time just to do the best that we can do. If you tick off one thing for next week, you're doing well. Especially if you spent the last 2 weeks doing absolutely nothing. Okay? Have some grace with yourself and be gentle with yourself and be kind with yourself. If 5 is too much, pick one thing. The one thing that you definitely need to do in order to make you feel a sense of achievement, make you feel like you've moved forward or progress. Just eliminate that whole burden or procrastination of doing that task in your mind, so you're kind of free from that torment that you haven't done it. And something that you can look forward to ticking off your list. If you're like me, I love a tick list, tick list. I love to tick things. Sometimes I might even put things on my list that I've already done just to write it down, to tick it off, to say that I've done it. Hey, that's just the way my brain works. But write down your 5 priorities for that week. Put them and plot them in your weekly calendar or your weekly Google Docs or wherever it is that you actually use, your reminders, and get to doing. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed at the moment, you've got so much things going on in your head, you've got things to do, appointments to make, just things going on that you just feel like you're kind of out of control and it's flipping stressing you out, I want you to take some time and take everything that you have out of your mind right now, get a piece of paper and write it in your brain dump. And if you're looking for something that will actually motivate you and have a brain dump book, how about checking out my shop, where you can find notebooks just like this, with just really nice messages on here reminding you that you are capable, motivated, and you are resilient. We all need a bit of encouragement. We all need a bit of self-persuasion in order to get things done. I mean, literally, you would not know the efforts it's got for me to come to this camera today with all the technical and other issues that's happened, but I'm here. My list today, my priorities today was get some videos done, and I am doing it. So I trust in you. So what I want you to do right now is 3 things. Hit the subscribe button so you do not miss another video. Go down below and check out one of the workbooks that you can start your brazen journey on right now, so you can start to ignite your own brazen spirit. And then check out my shop. Links down below where you can actually get your motivated notebooks just to keep you going, ladies. I believe in you, and it's time that you believe in yourself.